Hey y'all, thanks for stopping by the Obviously Lee Authentic channel. My name's Leah, that's spelled L-E-A and not L-E-A-H. So we're going to be talking about episode 2 of season 6 of Real Housewives of Potomac. So it kicks off where it left off, where we have Karen versus Giselle. They still going back and forth. They do the whole rehashing of Karen saying, "You just a broke down whore from Hampton." And then saying, and that's why we went to Sing Sing. And everyone's like, girl, what is a hot box? Because basically Karen, if you've been looking at like Karen's reviews, Karen is basically saying like, Karen's trying to like backtrack now because I think she realized she went a little too far with that conversation. Because basically people are starting to feel like Karen is alluding that Giselle has an STD. And it's like nobody thinks it's funny to bring up somebody's sexual history because it's not something funny. And then the whole Sing Sing thing, Karen is saying like she don't know Sing Sing is a jail. But based off of what everyone has told me on Twitter is that the people of the older generation all know that Sing Sing is a jail. I thought it was a country. It could be a country. But and there was speculation that when she said Sing Sing, she meant like an insane asylum. Because when Giselle broke up or like got a divorce from Jamal, she had a mental breakdown. So it was like two stories that I saw on the internet where it was like, when she got a divorce, she had a mental breakdown because she lost everything. Like her identity was wrapped up in being the first lady. And like she had been through so much with Jamal, getting half the congregation pregnant. Then there was another story, allegedly, the other was allegedly too, where they were saying that Giselle went to jail one time for actually fighting one of like the women that Jamal was having an affair with. So I don't know how true these stories are because I haven't seen anybody have like concrete like evidence. But these are the things that people are saying is what Karen was alluding to. But now if you're looking at reviews, Karen is trying to like backtrack because I think she realized it's not a good look. It's not a good look to like throw somebody going to the insane asylum because it's like, girl, you attacking somebody's mental health. And it's also not a good look to be like, she might have an STD. So I was like, Grandom sis. So everybody's at the table like, Sing Sing, and they couldn't get it together. Like everyone's just looking at her like, what? So then Wendy stops them so the chef could tell them what kind of like salad they're eating. The salad looked good, by the way. I like apples and like almonds in my salad with some feta cheese. That's fire right there. And basically the lady was like, oh, this is this, this, and this. And I'm like, okay, thank you, whatever. So then, I guess to like break up the tension, Robin asks like Karen about her wedding. And then Karen comes back and Robin is like, when is your wedding? And she was like, after COVID. And then Karen makes the comment like, you know, I'm having a real wedding and I'm in a real relationship. Basically throwing a dig at Robin about her relationship with Juan not being real. And Giselle was like, so you basically saying she don't have a real relationship? And they both was like, I don't know. Karen don't see it for Giselle or Robin. And then the thing is like she be trying to act like she cared, but she really don't care. It's just a mess. It's a mess. Then we find out Wendy got a BBL. You know, I was like, okay, that's cute. She got her BBL. She looked good. Mia was in the confessionals like, oh honey, you only are saying this after I tell my stuff. So Mia is starting to feel like Wendy is insecure and intimidated by her, and Wendy thinks Mia is a liar. Like, I think when we were all like, Mia, why can't you figure out your age? Side note, I think Mia is 40 or 41. Because her saying she's 36 is a hard 36. It would be so much better if she's like, oh, I'm 41 or I'm 40 or at least I'm 39. Because her saying she's 36, she a hard, like a hard 36. And I'm hoping it's not because of all that plastic surgery. Because my thing is like, sis, if you got all of that done, and the goal of surgery or plastic surgery is to make you look youthful, you need to get your money back because you look like you're 40 when you're 36. And I'm not saying Mia is ugly or anything. I actually think like all the women on the show are actually really pretty. But I'm just like, that's a hard 36, yo. Like a hard 36. So, you know, they having a little riff. We end up seeing like, you know, everybody comes to like, they're all like happy. They're all licking the little titty cupcakes and it ends. But then we see Mia going around to the ladies and getting their phone number. And we also see Wendy kind of looking at it like she's not loyal because it's like your friend just got into it with Robin and Giselle and you trying to get their number. That's kind of fake. And I'm like, it kind of is, but in the context of this show, she gonna need y'all numbers if she trying to be new to the group. But I got what Wendy was saying. So then we get a little bit more about Mia. So they live at the Baltimore Harbor. They have like a really nice apartment. Her husband, they call him, his name is Gordon, but like friends call him G. He actually looks really good for his age to be 68. He looks really good. I can see why she's attracted to him. He seems like a really cool guy. They have 14 joint chiropractor places, and I think she said 4 different states. Gordon is now kind of like a stay-at-home dad. They have 3 kids. They have, I think she has said the 13-year-old was from a previous relationship or a previous marriage. And then they have 2 kids together. They have a little girl. And then I think her name is Juju. And then they have a son, like the middle child's a little boy. And, you know, Gordon seems to be annoyed with Mia a little bit because she's doing too much. And I was kind of here with Gordon because I was like, girl, how are you trying to make cupcakes and take business calls all at once? Like, there's no need. Like, I want women to get away from trying to be super mom. Like, it's not possible. And even if it is, even if you are trying to be super mom, you always end up like taxing yourself. And I don't think that's fair to you or your kids. Like, honestly, all Mia had to do is tell her little daughter, like, girl, once I'm off this phone call, you have my undivided attention and we can make cupcakes and all of that. But for her to try to make cupcakes, call like 2 people, the little girl asking questions, then she has a freak out moment because she wanted sprinkles and like runs to her room. Gordon was going to go check on her, but Mia's like, no, I got it. And I'm like, you're doing too much for the cameras. Like, let your husband go check on your daughter while you know you get these business calls out the way. And then this let me know, because this is no slight to Mia or Juju, I'm not ready for kids. Because when she started crying because they didn't have no sprinkles, I instantly got irritated. Because I'm like, girl, it's sprinkles. And that's when I had to realize, I said, Leah, we not ready for kids. Because I'd have been like, I like the fact that Mia went and checked on her and was like, it's okay, like, girl, we okay. Because I don't think I would have. I'd have been like, are you really crying over sprinkles? Sprinkles when you about to get cupcakes that we about to put icing on. No, ma'am. So I am not ready for no kids. No kids. So then we see Candace. Claps for you, Candy. Come on, Candace. Okay, y'all. I don't stand anybody in Real Housewives, but I do have people that I really like that I like are my favorites. And Candace is one of my favorites. And I was so happy to see that, like, you know, she's shooting a pilot for a new series. It looks good. You know, she's been in Family Reunion. She did that one BET Christmas, I think it was Christmas Lottery, that a lot of people enjoyed. Chris is her manager, but Chris said, you know, I'm managing Candace. Not really everything. I'm just because Candace get moody. And then Candace was like, you get moody too, Chris. So I know Chris is a fine white man. That beard, that salt and pepper beard, when he showed up to Karen's party, I said, okay, Chris. Okay, Chris. That's a cute white man. But you know, I felt so bad when she was like, I got 5 homework assignments. Chris was like, you also need to go to the studio. And I was like, girl, you got them homework assignments when you're trying to get your master's are a pain in the ass. Like, you think like, it's like, it's so annoying because you feel like you finished writing this paper and then when you go, you got to do all these other, it's annoying. But I don't know why she let it build up to 5. I think at most when I was getting my master's, I let it build up to at least like 2 or 3. 5, I'd have been like, I can't do it. I can't do it. I'm overwhelmed. So, you know, studio time and things of that nature. But I'm happy for her. Like, last season was a mess. It was a mess. It was toxic and it was a mess. And I'm glad that she is trying her best to move past what happened last season and keep moving forward. Like, she wants to take her music seriously. She also wants to take acting seriously, because she said with all this to happen and with the Panasonic, she was like, she realized you really don't have time to be afraid to go for your dreams and your goals. So I think that's wonderful. So then we see Ashley. We see Sheila come over. Tent Sheila. She basically was, this is weird, because she was like, how's Michael? They give Michael too much. They give the Grim Reaper Smeagol too much. They give him too much, because she was like, oh, he's taking my calls on the first ring. Was he not before? Was he not even picking up the phone, Ashley? See, this is what I don't get about Ashley. It's like, y'all let him get away with too much. And I don't know if it's because the man got money or whatnot, but it's like, it could be me. It could be me. The fact that she was like, she got a nanny, which I'm happy, because she said, I guess that was making it hard for her postpartum. But the nanny is coming, you know. Then she had to talk about her and Michael's sex life with Sheila. And I was like, I don't want to hear about that decrepit White Walker getting on top of you and trying to impregnate you with his sperm. Don't nobody need that visual. Because that man is gross. He is slimy and he's gross and he a predator. And she was like, you know, there's other things I can do. And that's the other thing. I don't like how she feels obligated to have sex with him so he does not cheat. Like, Ashley, you are creating life inside you. Like, the only time you should want to have sex is when you want to have sex. Like, sex should not be an obligation to make sure that this decrepit dirtbag does not go cheat on you. I was like, this don't make sense. This relationship don't make sense to me. Because she's talking about, you know, we do other things, you know. Michael uses his hands. I use my mouth. I was like, I don't need to know that. Don't nobody care about that slimy, yeah, that pasty man. Then, you know what? I'm going to just get Ashley all out the way. Basically, Karen comes over. Baby Dean don't like Karen. Baby Dean saw Karen and was like, oh, no. And started crying. We find out that Ashley is going to, she's having a doula, so a home birth. And she's going to give her placenta away so they can make placenta pills. And I guess that's supposed to, like, replenish your iron after you have a baby, and also regulate your hormones so that, like, you don't have postpartum, which I never heard. I've heard people eating the placenta. I was just like, I don't know. I was kind of with Karen when she was like, I ain't want to eat it. But if it does help with postpartum, I think that's wonderful. Karen invites Ashley to her love party that she having. And basically, we found out Karen was lying about the sing-sing thing. Karen said she only said sing-sing to be humorous. And I'm like, so you was lying. I don't get how y'all be staring for Karen when Karen be lying. Karen be lying. And I'm like, she be lying. Like, I'm like, why did you... I was like, why were you admitting that you lied about the sing-sing thing? Now you doing, like, interviews, acting like you knew what you was saying. Did you not remember that you said, like, publicly, like, on national TV that you lied? I'm just like, it don't make sense. Make it make sense, Karen. Make it make sense. Talking about I was trying to be humorous. No, you were upset that Giselle and them was laughing at you when you were trying to be serious with your reads. I can't. So then we see Karen and Ray talking, and Karen wants to have a love party, extending an olive branch to all the women. For some reason, she really thinks like Giselle is this wounded bird, and maybe Giselle is. But shout out to, y'all know, the diva, Erica De Niro. But she has taught me about, like, male-centered women, and that is what Karen is. Like, Karen was like, you know, you should be mad at that man. You know, that man disrespected you. Don't be mad at me. And I'm just like, Karen, you have all these digs about Giselle being single, but last season you ran upstairs crying and was trying to get them to unmic you because Ray said he didn't know if he loved you anymore. So I'm just kind of like, you have all these reads about like being single, but like you're in a marriage where you don't really know if that man really want to be with you anymore after 25 years. So I'm kind of like, is it really a dig to be like you're not with somebody? I'd rather be alone and happy than with somebody, and I can't tell whether or not that person really cares about me or not, especially after 25 years. But it's a love party. She wants to invite all the ladies. Giselle and Robin said, hell no. Like Giselle threw the box. It was like, I would have took the chocolate out though, I ain't gonna lie. But it was like a box of chocolate, like invitation. Giselle threw it in the garbage. Robin was like reading it, and Juan was like, I ain't going to that. And she's like, I ain't going either. And so they not going. We see Nia, or is it Nina? Chris's daughter and Candace walking up to the house, and she sees the box, and Nia was like, what is this? And they open it, and she reads it, and Nia was like, Candace asked Nia, she's like, you want to go? And Nia was like, no. She was like, neither do I. But you want some chocolate? She was like, don't eat it until, after dinner. And I laughed because nobody really wants to go. Like, nobody is, other than probably Wendy, Mia, and Ashley. But the other three women don't see it for Karen right now. But I do like the fact that Candace was like, Candace ends up going, but she was just kind of like, I want to put that stuff behind me. She's like, even though she felt like Karen stabbed her in the back, and I'm not gonna lie, what Karen did was shady, because why did you call HR on her? Because she told you to go to hell, and it felt like you were threatened when you've said far worse to Giselle, Robin, and like other women on the cast, and they've said far worse to you, Karen. And then on top of that, you kept trying to make it seem like both Candace and Monique were liable in the fight. Honestly, if we're gonna give percentage wise, it was really like 80-20. Like 80% Monique lost her mind and put her hands on that woman because she was embarrassed at the fact that the other women who she claimed she don't care about was laughing at her with Candace when Candace was just twirling around talking about, I'm sleep, we're bored, I'm sleep, we're bored, and her ego couldn't take it, so she lashed out and put her hands on Candace. And then when you were trying to say, well, Candace has a weapon, she only had a glass in her hand while her head was down so she could pop that lady in the face while she was getting the back of her head knocked in. If I was Candace, I'd have stabbed Monique with the glass. Like this whole like, oh, she had glass. She was getting her head knocked in. What do you just want her to take it? So I was just like, Karen, shut up. So then we see Wendy, when we see her sister, her brother, and her mom come over, and her mama had me tickled when her mama was like, her breasts are flapjacks, and she was like, she want new breasts by December, and the kids was gonna pay for it, or she was gonna sue. And I was like, ma'am. But then we get information that Wendy is trying to do a home essentials line, like candles, probably bedding, different scents for your home, like linen and all that stuff, like incense and stuff. And it's called, I think, her middle name, Ioma. I think it's like blessings from God. I don't think I said that right, y'all. But her family supports her, but she wants Eddie to support her. I didn't think her mom was going to support her because her mom said, this is America, and y'all think y'all can do whatever y'all want, but okay, I'm going to support you. Because I guess now her mom is like, okay, you're going to get way more money being on TV, and her mom probably liked being on TV too. So she says she needs $20,000 to continue her line because she says she's only done the fun stuff, which is like making the packaging and the logos and things of that nature. Eddie don't look that invested, but who knows? So then we see Giselle and her girls. And side note, get off of Grace's back. I'm with Grace. It took me 3 times. I got my permit on the 3rd try. To get the driver's license in Virginia is hard. It really is, because when you take the permit test, if you do it goes the signs test, which I think is like 10 questions. And then the like regular test after the signs test is 25 questions. on the signs test, you're not allowed to get any of the signs wrong. You get one sign wrong, you automatically fail. On the driving test, you get 25 questions, but you only have to answer 20. And if you get one wrong, they'll give you the other 5 questions in order to like even it out. So it took, like, I messed up the first time because I got one sign wrong, and it was like a reverse sign, but the color was different. The color was like orange instead of was it a reverse sign? It was some sign with the arrows going left and right, but like it was orange instead of yellow. So I was supposed to see it as a construction sign, not a cautious sign. And I picked the wrong answer. The second time I passed the signs portion, but I got the 25 questions. Like I ended up missing more than 5 questions. So I eventually got on third try, but they'll be coming at Grace. But I love how the ladies got, like, I love how Giselle's daughters get her together. Side note, Giselle's house looks nice. Her West Wing, I was with Robin. The exterior of her home is ugly, but the interior looks really nice. Her side looks really pretty. So I guess her West Wing is her part of the house, and then the other part of the house is the girls part. So, you know, you got her 2 daughters, well, the 2 twins, which I think is Angel and Adore. I hope I say, no, Ashley and Adore. And then you have Grace, who is 16. And it was cute to see the little mother-daughter confessional that they had. I love how they got her together, where they were like, girl, you are emotionally immature and you don't know how to break up with people. They was like, we need to tell you how to break up with people. And I loved it. And I don't think it, and I was glad Giselle said she probably did damage by sharing too much of what she went through with Jamal. And I believe that she shared a little too much because them kids don't see it for Jamal. But I like Giselle's relationship with her daughters. You can really tell that she loves her kids. So I like it. But Grace want a thug, and y'all need to nip that in the bud, because they not good for you, Grace. Grace talking about, why can I date a rapper? You don't need to date them rappers. And you don't need to be dating athletes, Grace. And to the little twins, neither do you too, Ashley and Adore. So let's get to the party, y'all. So Karen's party, the food looked good. Everybody shows up with their husband except Ashley. Candace comes. Candace also invites Karen to her new home. Karen's actually excited. Wendy is already annoyed with Mia when she sees Mia. I'm just like, Wendy, what is the issue? So then here's the whole argument. So, you know, so the beginning of the episode, Mia said that she could tell Giselle has a beautiful heart. And now they're having a discussion where, like, Candace is like, oh, I heard there was an issue that y'all had. And Karen was like, you know, I don't want to talk about this. It's just a peaceful moment. But basically, Mia was like, I don't know if Giselle really has a good heart, if she's wishing death on people. And Candace was like, wishing death? So Karen brings up something that happened almost 4 or 5 years ago. I think it happened either season 2 or season 1, where Ray pulled Giselle aside and basically said that, like, her looks will begin to fade and she need to use them while they hot so she could get a man. And in her confessional, Giselle said, my looks will fade before Ray's. I think she basically said her looks would never fade, or her looks won't fade until Ray dies, or something like that. Basically saying, like, my looks ain't gonna never fade until you die, Ray. And I was just kind of like, Ray was out of line for telling her that, because it's like, bro, didn't nobody ask you, Uncle Ben Rice? And what Giselle said wasn't that serious, and it was a reach. So then Karen is talking about, like, you know, it hurt my kids. My kids were young. Bravo shows a picture, and, like, her daughter was 19 and her son was 27. I think they can understand the difference between, like, someone making, like, a dig versus someone saying wishing death upon someone. So I was like, Karen, you're reaching and you need to chill out. So then Wendy chimes in, and Wendy is basically like, Mia is flip-floppy. Then they get at it, and then Wendy's like, don't put your hand in my face. And then Mia's like, and what are you going to do about it? And everybody was like, thinking that it was about to, like, something was about to happen, because Candace was like, ooh, are we going down this road again? And then Ashley chimes in too, and she's like, well, you are kind of being flip-floppy because you got their numbers, like Robin and Giselle's number, after they got into it with Karen, and Karen's supposed to be your friend. And I kind of agree with them on that. Like, girl, if that's your friend, why are you trying to get numbers from them? So then Wendy was like, that's rude. I don't know, Wendy has something with Mia, and Mia don't really care, but maybe she do care. So then they kind of played the dating game, and Mia really thinks that Wendy is threatened and insecure and intimidated by her. But the first question they ask is, what is his favorite sexual position? Where is the craziest place you had sex? Which I don't know why Gordon and Mia had sex in a Waffle House bathroom. Them bathrooms be sticky and nasty. No. And then the other question they asked that kind of made everybody kind of like on edge, it was like they did, where did you meet your spouse? And they also did, if your husband was attracted to another woman in the group, who would it be? So Ray said Katie, crazy Katie. I said, oh, okay, Ray. And Karen was a little taken back by that, like, Katie. And that's when a lot of people online was like, he want that Erica Lyles. I screamed. If you don't know who Erica Lyles is, it was like some dude, some girl that Ray had a crush on, I think. Mia said Karen and Gordon said Karen. Then Candace said Chris would be into Giselle or Mia. And Chris was like, yeah, Chris got a little crush on Giselle. And then Wendy made Eddie change his answer because I think he was about to say Mia and she got mad. So he put nobody. And I was like, girl. And then Mia said something stupid where she was like, I think Eddie has been conditioned to be Team Wendy. And I'm like, well, he married her, so shouldn't he be Team Wendy? Mia, that sounded stupid, sweetie. Because I would hope Gordon is Team Mia. Because he married you and impregnated you with 2 kids. Yeah, that sounded stupid. But then, but then we also found out that Gordon and Mia met at the strip club. So Gordon's been married 3 times before Mia. So Mia is Gordon's 4th wife. And Mia said that she was a bartender. When I tell you I screamed when Candace in the confessional said, if you was a bartender, I'm a white man, I cackled. Like, I was tickled. And then now we finding out that Mia was a stripper because she posted a picture, and I'm going to post it for y'all, where it was like she retired in 2008. So I'm like, so you were a stripper. And I was like, okay. And I'm just kind of looking at her like, girl, why you lie? So now we're kind of seeing like Mia be lying. Because I'm like, just say you were a stripper. And then we also found out like Mia, and I'm going to post this too. I saw this in the comment section of one of the places I like, where Mia said, woo child, like pertaining to Wendy, where she was like, somebody's bothered. She was like, strippers have way more fun than slitherers, because, Wendy's slithering. Just saying, natural flips. And then Wendy responds, she said, let me slither on through then. No one shamed you for being a stripper. I'm calling you out about lying or being a liar. So I think that's the thing. Like, Wendy thinks Mia's a liar, and we can see what Mia is a liar. And she might just have an issue with Mia, but I also like the fact that Mia don't care, and she with the shenanigans. So that makes a good housewife. Yeah, I think that was it. I think it was a decent episode. I'm interested in episode 3 because I haven't seen the preview for episode 3, but I heard episode 3 is supposed to be like spicier. But yeah, y'all, remember to be bravely authentic, and drop down in the comments below and let me know your thoughts. I'm out. Deuces.